Hi everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at St Anne's Old Links Golf Club on the practice area. Beautiful sunny day down here in Lytham. Start of the golfing season is around the corner. I've got a new iron to review for you here, and it's the Ben Hogan PTX Pro iron. So a brand new iron from Ben Hogan. It's forged. It looks very sort of classic looking in there, but to me, first glances, it looks like there's a bit of forgiveness and a bit of tech under this bonnet. So we're going to explore that, talk a little bit about this new iron, give it a hit with GC Quad, as always, provide you some feedback of some numbers and obviously my personal feedback of the feel and the looks of this particular golf club. So first of all, big thanks to Ben Hogan for sending these over for me to review. They sent me a set of a 4-iron through to pitching wedge. So this video here, we're going to hit the 5-iron, the 7-iron and the pitching wedge, give you some numbers, feedback of how these clubs are performing. So what we're seeing from that 4-iron to 7-iron is a hollow construction head. So we've got this hollow head, which obviously we know from previous and maybe other manufacturers there, it helps a little bit more with that forgiveness in those longer irons and those miss hits, maybe a little bit more ability to launch that golf ball as obviously we lose the loft in those longer irons. Then as you're moving from that 8-iron through to pitching wedge, we'll lose the hollow head, but then we have a piece of titanium that's going into this toe section, which is again helping with sort of launching the golf ball and creating more of a consistent maybe flight for that golf ball. So I'm going to hit the pitching wedge first. I've got, as I say, I've got GC Quad set up on the ground in front of us, so we're going to get some sort of numbers with this, and just give you an idea of the spec. I've got this, they've built these to my specs. I've got KBS Tour 120 in an X Flex, a little bit longer than standard, slightly thicker on the grips and a couple of degrees upright, which is typically my spec. So as I'm putting this wedge down by the golf ball to start with, it's a really nice sort of shape. Now all these heads are forged, so we're going to expect some really nice sort of feel through these golf clubs, but first instincts, it's quite a nice sort of look behind the golf ball, very minimal offset there. It's a medium top line, so it's not a very slim top line, so it does provide a little bit of what's the right word, a little bit of backup in a way, in terms of, I know if I miss the middle of the golf club, it's not going to be too sort of punishing. So let's get this first one hit with the pitching wedge. Yeah, straight away there, the feel off that is lovely. The sound is very muted, and that's spun at 8,500 on the spin number, and carried, let's have a look at that carry distance, 134 carry. Very nice feel off the face. Yeah, lovely, very muted sound, which I really like. It feels quite very much of that forged sort of feel that you would sort of tend to sort of see. That jumped up to about 1,000 on that backspin, 127 carry, just nipped that one a little bit tighter there. Yeah, it feels superb. Liking the feel of that, I'm liking the look of it. It's not the smallest of heads, but I'm guessing it's not really sort of designed to be the smallest of heads. It does provide a lot of forgiveness. It's quite a large sort of blade, but it's a very lovely sort of classic shaping that you would see. That one's spun at 9,500. Let's get one more hit. Oh, that was a thin one. We'll get rid of that shot. That was a bad shot from me. That's a better one. Yeah, lovely flight on that. Love the sound of it. Love the feel off the club face. That's nice. Okay, so let's move into that 7-iron. So this is lofted at 34 degrees, so pretty much on that weaker side of the lofts there, which is nice to sort of see. Sometimes when you see these hollow heads, we tend to see a little bit of a stronger loft to just try and strive the distance out. So I think these are very much aimed at a golfer who's wanting more of that classic sort of feel, that nice shaping, the sort of very chrome finish on it, the forged feel. Yet it's got a bit of technology packed under this bonnet with the hollowness of the head and the way they're introducing multi-material. The wedge loft that we just hit there was 46 degrees, so let's hit a few with this 7-iron. Again, sits lovely behind the golf ball. We're just seeing a little bit more offset here now, so a little bit of offset. Again, a medium top line. It's not thin by any means, but the blade length isn't really long, so it does give a very nice appearance behind the golf ball. Okay, that's nice. Again, the sound is really, really nice. That's spun there at 7,200, so we're seeing a very controllable spin number, which is good to see. That's a lovely strike. Nipped that one really nice. Obviously I'm on a very much a links turf here, so we've got some tight lines. It's drying up nicely over here in the UK. We've had a good stretch of weather, which is nice to sort of see. So things are drying up, the lines are getting tighter. So what Ben Hogan are offering here is like a V sole on the sole of the golf club. So it's not the thinnest of soles, which is again all about trying to create a little bit more of that forgiveness in the head, but we've got that V sole, so it helps to get the club into the ground, but also more importantly back out of the ground. So the turf interaction is a little bit more sort of flowing, so the energy is not lost too much into the ground. Now my angle of attack tends to be a little bit on the steeper side, so I tend to be sort of 4 to 5 down with that sort of mid iron, so I'm very much an interactor with the ground. So something like a V sole possibly helping me a little bit more to get that club coming up and back out of that ground again through that impact. So turf interaction does feel very, very good. I feel stunning. Love the sound of it. Very sort of muted sound. It feels really like a very traditional forged club, and obviously this is forged, but we know there's a bit of tech happening underneath this, and again that's spun at 7,700, so getting quite a bit of spin there. It's a little bit cleaner. That's a little pulley one there. I always tend to sneak one of those in there. Yeah, so that spin just drops massively there. Again, that's more of my strike there. That's dropped down 5,700, but very, very bottom groove strike there. That's better. Good, lovely trajectory there, lovely sort of window. Yeah, 7,300, that's been lovely sort of window that comes out at. Feels great, sound is beautiful there. Very nice looking golf club. So just before we hit the 5, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the business model that Ben Hogan are doing now. Is more of a factory to purchaser direct, so you're not going to see these in the shops or retail places to sell. They are going to come direct from Hogan, so you're going to order these online. Obviously it's then for you to maybe get a fit. Difficult scenario here in terms of if you know your specs, that's not too bad. You can send your specs to them, they will personalize these to those specs within the price of the clubs. But obviously if you don't know your specs, it's a difficult one maybe for you to order, but obviously that's maybe you can go and get a fit in. Obviously it'll have to be with a different iron possibly, to then order through the Ben Hogan website. By them going direct, the reducing the overheads is what Ben Hogan is saying. So a typical cost price for these, for a 7-iron set, which is a 4 to wedge for example, is $770. So very reasonable price, or quite a very, you know, for a forged iron, we're looking at just over $100 per iron. So very, very good price in relation to other forged products on the market. But there is that slight stumbling block that you're not going to be able to get these to actually try. Apart from you can, they do offer like a demo program where you will purchase 2 irons. Possibly you could get them made up to what you think your spec is. They will send them to you. I think that costs about $20 or something like that. You get them for 2 weeks to trial them, and then you return them. And then obviously you can either place your order, or if you don't like them, obviously you don't place an order. So there is a chance for you to try before you buy. Okay, but again, more details on the Ben Hogan website if you go and check that out. So got the 5-iron in my hands now. This is 26 degrees of loft. Again, this looks very similar tying to what we've just seen with the 7-iron, medium top line, a little bit of offset, not massive on that blade length. So it does look like you've got a bit of buffer behind this. Yeah, it feels lovely yet again. The sound, I'm really enjoying that sound, to be honest. The sound is very, very sort of muted, very soft feeling. We know sound is very much related to feel. Does feel very, very nice. All right, that was a little bit skinny, but that's still flown up and away. Maybe a little bit of that hollow construction in this 5-iron is helping that a little bit. Wasn't the best of connections, but it's still done very nice on that flight. That was a better strike. Lovely high towering flight for a 5-iron. Looks to be got a bit of stopping power that comes into that. And yeah, that's spun at 5,400, so pretty high spin number there for a 5-iron, so definitely going to get some control when that comes into land. Ah, that's a joy to hit. Really easy to launch that. It's a little bit cutty, but again, it's flown really high there. Really enjoying that height of that ball flight with that. I'm going to get one more shot with that. Yeah, lovely. I've really enjoyed hitting those, to be honest. It's, you know, I got them out of the box, and I think the first instinct was, oh yeah, they look really nice. Very sort of classic looking club. Put it down by the ball. I thought, a little bit of a thicker top edge, but that's okay. I soon get over that sort of look. But I love the shaping of that head. And obviously when I start to read a little bit of the spec and what these sort of type of play these irons are really sort of aimed at, I think, yeah, that makes sense. You know, a little bit thicker top line. You don't really go really thin there, do you? And sort of scare people as you present it down by the golf ball. I think that top line just gives a little bit of reflection that there's a bit of help under that bonnet there. Yet when you look at it, it does look more of that classic sort of iron sort of shaping and sort of look to it in all the way, but obviously you've got that forged sort of feel to it, which I think is a really good sort of box tick there. And definitely a forged feel is what you associate with Ben Hogan irons. You know, I've had a set, I can't remember what the corks was, very much back in my younger days when I had a set, but I loved them. They felt great. They were a really good set of irons. And these are fantastic. I think they're a really nice set, definitely aimed at that golfer who wants that classic look, that forged feel, but just wants that little bit of help. Okay, so let's have a little look at some numbers with the PTX Pro irons. So we'll start with the pitching wedge first. So you can see ball speed just 105, launching at 22 and a half. Just had that little thin one there, you can see, which was second one down, spun at launched at 18. Obviously that's a nice strike, changing that. So spin number averaging at 9,237, and the carry distance coming in at 133. Moving to the 7-iron, ball speed just under that 120 mark there. Again, that first shot was a little bit of a poor one, a little bit heavy on that contact. Obviously stripped me of ball speed, so probably taking that out, that'll pump that up to around maybe 122, 123 on average, which for that type of lofted iron at 34 degrees is pretty standard for me. Launching around that 20 degree mark and spinning at 7,125. So good controllable spin number for that 7-iron. So a lot of control when it comes into land. Averaging its carry at 161. Again, probably into that 165 to 168 with that bad strike taken out of that equation. Moving into the 5-iron, 133 ball, launching at 14. And spinning at 4716. So again, a good spin number for a 5-iron there, coming in with some control, averaging the carry at 195. Okay guys, so there we go. There's the Ben Hogan PTX Pro irons reviewed with some numbers, and some very nice numbers at that. So quite impressed with the performance of those. Really liking the look of the club, and the type of golfer that's really going to hit, I would say, is that sort of low to mid handicap golfer who's looking for that sort of feedback of the forged. I think the sound of these are fantastic. The look's really good, love the shaping, and a very nice sort of brand, sort of calling from you know, the classics of the Hogan days, really. So comment down below, let me know your thoughts about that PTX Pro iron, and maybe Ben Hogan as a brand. Have you got a set of Ben Hogans? Love to hear your thoughts on it, as always. So, you know, fire those comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, enjoying the content I'm putting out there, then please hit that subscribe button. Very much appreciate it. It's your subscriptions, it's your views that are helping me get product like this over to review and get the feedback out to you guys as soon as these products are landing to market. So appreciate your support as always. Hit the like button if you can, share the video around, follow my social media platforms, both Instagram and Twitter, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.